do you feel like with like now that we've kind of gotten over the pandemic, was there anything that you were missing as an artist during that time that has kind of adjusted the way you're looking at the music business? Because, you know, a lot of artists, they depended on going and getting bags at the club or the live shows, or, you know, we heard of a lot of artists like who were kind of hurting during the pandemic. Was there anything that like you kind of took from the pandemic that you're able to kind of apply to your business model as an artist now moving forward, or anything you learned?
I feel like, bro, I was pushing through the pandemic super smooth. Like, I don't know. I probably just got more, if anything, I got just more detail. Like, I know more about my actual business, like my everything that goes on.
That shit's important.
Yeah, I know more about my shit, like, than anything. Like, I know about every part. But I say that's it, because through the pandemic, we was good. I was decent in the pandemic, bro. Like, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I built a brand outside of just being a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
So through that shit, I can like, it's like another just whole thing, bro. Like that's like a whole different life for me. Like I sell hoodies, I sell clothes and shit like that. So that shit brings a whole different type of thing to my revenue in my business.
A whole nother revenue stream.
Yeah, so.
That's pandemic proof. I mean, I think music is pandemic proof.
Music is pandemic proof, but however,
touring though, touring is not.
Yeah, and it was like touring my favorite part of this shit. Touring in the studio, all the shit in between that turns into business.
Right.
I hate that shit. I hate music business. I hate the business. I love the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I'm able to exist in this shit, and I've been on for about 5-6 years now. Like signed, you know what I'm saying. I was with Interscope, now with Motown. Shout out to them. But like, you know what I'm saying. I think the business is kind of, it just affects the talent at all times, like for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of, I guess a better way to answer your question is, I did a lot of like purifying myself of the bullshit from the business and cleansing my motherfucking mind from that shit. And like, I think my album turned in a better direction, because I feel like the album I was finna drop, like while I was still in the role, like, before the pandemic and shit, was just like,
because it's been a few years since we got an album, right?
Yeah, so been like 4 years.
That shit's crazy.
That motherfucker just was more so like, yeah, nigga, I'm finna be the biggest. Like I felt it. Like I felt my momentum. I'm like, this shit finna go crazy. I'm like, my next shit going crazy. So I think I made songs that was gonna like sound good, like to the world, opposed to just like going inward. Like, let me like try to make my best.
So this is like the album we're gonna get is kind of like the second iteration of an album.
Third.
The third version of...
Man, this album, so this funny, because this album I'm talking about is all the way mixed and mastered by that nigga Ali, you know.
Yeah,
Kendrick.
Mixed by Ali, shout to
y'all know Ali, bro.
Engineers.
But it's mixed and mastered and shit. Like, we mixed and mastered another album, which is the album that's coming after this Love for Rent album and shit.
So you already have albums in the can just ready to go.
Hell, you think I've been doing, bro? Like,
I mean, it's been 4 years.
Yeah, like I've been in the studio. Niggas be like, you need to ride to the studio, drop the album. I'm like, man, bitch, shut up. I've been in the studio every day. Like, you feel me? I don't work for us, I'm gonna go.
So this album comes out, how much longer before you drop the other one?
So that was not on purpose though. Like that whole thing, like I said, I switched labels. You feel me? And a lot of people be like, man, you going through label shit. Hell nah, we having our way. Really? Like, it's more so just like, I was just trying to be smart and like build a rapport with the people that I'm gonna be working with next, and I ain't trying to just be stepping, because I seen how I wasn't really like able to move how I wanted to in the last shit, because you feel me, if everybody ain't on the same page, it don't work. And like I said, like I learned a lot about the business and what to use and what to not use. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think sometimes like when you're an artist and you're on a major label, you have a team, like, and all you're doing is worrying about the creative part. Sometimes shit gets kind of like falls through the cracks, whether it's like features, whether it's like, you know, certain communication with other people's camps. Because I always hear that shit where it'd be like, yo, I was in the studio with so-and-so, and now his label ain't clearing the record. Like, and it's like, yo, sometimes like that it really ain't got shit to do with the artist.
Nah, bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
The business be weird, bro.